amazing second grade artists, the first thing you're going to do is break up your clay into 3 pieces. So 3 even pieces. Then you're going to take your first clay, roll it into a ball, and create a pinch pot by using your thumb, pressing your thumb down deep into your pinch pot, but not poking a hole through the other side. And then you're just going to rotate your pinch pot and pinch around while the hole in the middle gets bigger. Next, you're going to take your second lump of clay and do that again. When you have your second lump of clay, you're going to kind of mold it together to fit on top of each other. For this project, you are either going to be making a ball container that is going to represent some kind of sport or athletic event like dance or any kind of sport like I said, or you are going to create a musical maraca. Because all of these things, you have to work together as a team, and we're working on talking about being a good teammate, working together with others. These are qualities that are really important when you are growing up, is to be able to work with other people. So you can see for my maraca, all I'm doing is rolling tiny little beads and setting them inside of my pinch pot. I rolled 10 beads. You might want to do a similar number. I put 5 on each side. So for my maraca, I do actually want to seal it together. If you are doing a container, you would not slip and score it. So if you want it to open, you would not slip and score it. I do not want this to open. I want it to stay closed together. So I'm using my clay glue and putting it on the edges of where I scored it or scratched at my clay. And now I'm using my fingers to smooth it together so that it is a maraca musical instrument that I can use after I am done with this project. Remember, the other option is going to be a container where you can take the lid on and off. So it is your choice what you want to create. Next, I'm going to start to decorate my clay rattle or maraca. So I am creating a letter. So I'm going to do M for Mrs. May. And I created that by using coils. And then I'm going to again score it, which means scratch at it, and use my clay glue, my slip, and put that letter onto my clay rattle or maraca. You are going to make your own slip at home. All you do is you drop a piece of clay into your cup and add some water to it, and it just is like this wet clay that becomes your clay glue. So again, I'm smoothing my letter on using my clay tool to really get that letter to stick on so it doesn't fall off. Remember, if you are doing the container version, you would not slip and score it on because you want it to be able to open. I want my letter to stay on, so I am slipping and scoring it. After I've added a coil to my clay rattle or maraca, I am going to show you how you can also carve into it. But remember, you can't carve too deep because it is hollow on the inside. That means there is some air on the inside, and we don't want to poke a hole in our clay rattle or maraca. So I have made a heart shape, and I am carving some of the clay away to indent that part of my clay project. It's just another technique. You do not have to do this. This is just the design that I am doing on my clay maraca. So you are able to add clay to it, take clay away. I want to see some of these different methods that you are experimenting with your project. Next, I'm using my clay tool to just draw some different kinds of lines and designs on my maraca. So you can see I'm just drawing lines all over it to create some really interesting texture on my maraca. So when I hold it, I can feel those texture later after it's been fired in the kiln. After that, I am going to use that texture technique where I take my shoe and I press it into my clay. Again, you do not have to do this method. I'm just showing you a variety of things that you can try to add clay and take clay away. So I did an M and then I did a heart, and now I'm actually going to make a microphone because I didn't know if you knew this about Mrs. May, but Mrs. May loves to sing. I love to sing so much. So I did like an M and then I did a heart. So like it says, Mrs. May loves to sing, and I'm going to draw a microphone. So it's kind of representing that I would love to be in a band where I could sing and work as a team in that way. Next, I'm going to go back to option number 2, where I am going to have a container that actually stays open. So I really press the bottom of my container on the table because when it hardens, I don't want it to fall over. I want it to be sturdy when the lid is on top. So really make sure that you press it down so that it is sturdy and that the lid fits well onto the bottom. I am tracing a line to create an image of a basketball. So I'm making my container a basketball shape and making it look like a basketball because I also really enjoy basketball. It's my favorite sport. So that is the first step that I'm doing, is doing some carving and techniques. With my extra clay, I thought that you guys could add some other things to it. So if I had enough, I could have made like a little basketball hoop. I could have made a player on top, but I also really like baseball. So I decided those are both sports where you have to have good sportsmanship and work as a team. And so I decided to create a coil and shape it into the shape of a baseball bat and put it on top of my basketball because I like both of those sports. So with this one though, I do need to slip and score my baseball bat on in order for it to stay. But I do not want to slip and score the top and bottom of my basketball together because otherwise I won't be able to use it as a container later. So here I am, I'm scoring it, and then I'm using my slip and I am using my fingers to pinch on my baseball bat. So there you have it. You have 2 options. You can do a container or you can create a maraca.